What's up, nerds? My name is Apollo. This is Randy.
Top of the pip pop.
Welcome to Codename Nerd, a podcast where we talk about a bunch of nerdy shit that we like because we feel like it. This episode's primarily just going to be an intro, getting to know us and what we like and what we're into, things of that sort. So let's get started.
Kind of in a interviewee type of way.
Yeah. Bunch of questions. So when did you want to start podcasting?
About 5 years ago, I was listening to the Weekly Planet podcast. It's my favorite one.
It's really good.
And they were talking about, I think it was a Spider-Man one. And I was like, I know this stuff.
I know Spider-Man.
I know all this stuff. And then they were talking about other things, like other movies and comic book stuff. And I was like, I know. I could do this. Plus, I had no one to really, let out my nerd stuff to. I had no one to talk to, no one to be around to explain it to until I met you anyway. And that's kind of why I started doing my YouTube thing, because I had literally no one who cared about what I liked. That's basically it. It's 5 years to find someone who would be willing to do it.
I'm willing. Yeah, I started listening to the Destiny Community podcast.
I love that podcast. Playing Destiny 1. I love that one. It's really good. I was just listening to it a minute ago.
Yeah?
It's really, really good.
Yeah, I enjoyed them a lot, and I was like, man, I feel like I know things. I can talk kind of okay sometimes. Like, that would be kind of fun. So that was, I don't know. I started playing D1 late, so probably 3.5 years ago, about, I'd say.
I played it about 3.5 months ago.
Yeah. Now you
I'm way behind.
That's fine. You're catching up fast. So what would your main interests be? What kind of nerdy shit do you like?
Most comic books. There's no order to this. Comic books, video games, the comic book movies, other kind of like sci-fi movies like Lord of the Rings. I really like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. I found the whole set at a garage sale for like $2.
Netflix had on
full collector's edition.
Like a year ago, Netflix had just the first one on. I was like, go.
Why?
And I thought it just showed the first one, but you could find the other two.
Yeah.
So at like 2 a.m, I went to Walmart and was like, I need to find it. And I got this little, it's like a 3-pack, little cheapo DVD, not even Blu-ray or anything. And like once a year, I'll be like, okay, this weekend, here we go, Lord of the Rings time.
Yeah. I don't like Netflix sometimes for that reason. They took Last Jedi off, though. It's finally on Disney Plus now, so all the Star Wars is there.
Now they just gotta get all the Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
And the rest of the stuff they own.
We'll get there.
You should buy Sony while they're at it. Just to have Spider-Man back.
That would be a whole nother podcast if we start talking right now.
For sure. Want my boy back.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same for me. Gaming. I haven't really been into comic books a whole lot yet. Trying to get more into it. Started reading the
It's hard to start, I would say, especially after you've.
There's so many. It's just where
exactly.
do I start? But
after Secret Wars would be good.
Yeah, I like the Secret Wars story though. I wouldn't want to start after.
The new one or the old one?
I don't know which one there is. I'm not into comic books as much as you are.
There's the Secret Wars in like the 80s, maybe late 70s. I think it's 80s, where they go to it's like different dimensions and stuff, and then there's the newer one. Where it's all the multiverse combine and collide, and it's gonna explode and die. And
they both sound cool, so I don't care.
Right after the second one, they'd made it so it's all one universe and it all starts over fresh.
Yeah, I think.
Like Spider-Man was like a businessman.
You think they're gonna have any sort of Secret Wars implications now that they showed the scroll in the MCU?
I hope.
Maybe how are they gonna play it though? Because they're not
Secret
bad.
Invasion.
Yeah.
Instead of, I don't know.
That's a whole nother podcast. So we start talking about it. But yeah, I'm big into Star Wars for sure. Marvel movies for sure. Star Wars is probably my go-to all the time. I've already seen Rise of Skywalker twice. And I'm planning at least 2 more.
So Star Wars fan.
You'll get there.
I like it a lot. I know more than the average guy. But I'm not like...
I'll turn you.
I'm not like, well, you see... Back in Legends, I don't know any of the Legends stuff.
I know some of the Legends stuff. I try to stick to canon as much as possible because if I read it or if I see or hear about a Legend story that I like I'll get mad if it's not canon. So
Yeah.
I try to stick to canon as much as possible, but there's a lot of cool legend stuff.
Nick Cannon.
Yeah, not him. Yeah. When did you start getting into nerdy shit? What caught your interest first, and why? The movies or comics first?
Comics was first for sure. Way before any movie. The only movies I think that were out were like Howard the Duck, which is really bad.
I haven't seen it.
I've seen it. It's really bad.
I won't see it.
No, it's 9 years old is when I started reading comic books. I got 4 Spider-Man comics and I got 4 Gambit and the Externals from the Age of Apocalypse.
Gambit's so cool.
Gambit was my fave for a very long time after Spider-Man. So I got the 4 Spider-Man comics when I was 9. I got the 4 Gambit comics when I was 9. And then when I was like 10, I got my first PlayStation, and comics and video games took over my whole life.
Yeah, same.
I love them so much that it's crazy.
Yeah, I had a bit of a rough childhood, so the majority of my time was spent. My parents had an NES. I spent hours playing Galaga, trying to get Legend of Zelda, but I was 4 years old. I didn't know how to do anything. But Galaga was a big one, and then when I moved here, I think I was 6, and my grandparents had a roommate who had a Nintendo 64. We played all the time. And a lot of them like Mario Kart, Mario Party, and then GoldenEye was my go-to for a really long time. I loved that game.
Played GoldenEye.
That's what got me into first-person shooters, and that's kind of where I've stuck for quite some time now. Yeah, and then I started. I mean, over the time I was playing that, and then I upgraded to like a PlayStation and played a little bit. I kind of got out of gaming for a while until my cousin got me and my brother started playing Battlefield 3, and that was it consumed my life. I played for hours every night till like 2 in the morning, and wake up and go to work the next day, and it was kind of rough, but it was worth it for me. And then came out with Battlefield 4, and it sucked, and I started playing less and less games after that. And then my brother was getting really big into Destiny, so after I think it was year 3 of Destiny 1, they came out with Rise of Iron, and then I started playing with them, and it just took over everything. It was so much fun. It's beautiful graphics, everything looks great, the lore is really cool. I wish they had more of it in the game, but it was way fun. And after that, I kind of dedicated all my time to Destiny, and then switched from Xbox to PlayStation when Destiny 2 released, because they were partnered with Sony, and they had PlayStation exclusive weapons and strikes and all this stuff that was kind of cool, and I didn't want to wait. So that's kind of where I've been since. Haven't really gotten into a lot of the newer games. I want to play Fallen Order really bad. I know you just got that.
It's really good.
I want to play Spider-Man pretty bad, but
Spider-Man's really good.
Kind of just stuck on Destiny, and I need to broaden my nerd horizons on
both those games make you feel like you're that character.
Yeah.
Like if you want to just be Spider-Man for a day, like I played it as Spider-Man would play it. That's how much it felt like you're being Spider-Man.
I'm gonna make Spider-Man such an asshole. All the morals that Peter Parker has don't matter.
Like I'd get to the door of a mission, because let's like go to this door and go through the door and do the thing. I would be like reaching for the doorknob, and then the police siren would go off, and I'd be like, "Ugh," like out loud for real. I go, "Ugh." Every time I'm gonna be late now, and I'm not gonna be late. I'm at home in my chair. Like,
yeah, no, that's awesome.
The Jedi game is really cool. I just barely started it. It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that ASAP. Yeah, as far as like the Marvel side of things and comic book side of things, I started with the movies with Iron Man 1.
Iron Man 1. I didn't even see that in theaters until for like a month.
I didn't either. I saw it on DVD.
Because I didn't like Iron Man when I was a kid. He was boring.
Yeah, he was a stupid comic book.
I was like, this is a boring drunk guy. I have that in real life. I don't need that.
Yeah. Don't get too deep.
So I was like, nah. And then my buddy's like, you gotta go see this movie. And I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I
didn't even watch like The Incredible Hulk at all.
Not missing much.
I started with MCU. I started right, but
Hulk's in the MCU.
As far as Star Wars go, he's in the MCU, but The Incredible Hulk was a Paramount movie. Nobody cares. It doesn't count.
It was canon.
It doesn't count.
Quotes.
It's Edward Norton shouldn't have been.
Don't email us.
Off topic. Yeah,
Well,
Star Wars. I didn't even start till '99 when Episode 1 came out. Phantom Menace. I went and saw that in theaters with my grandpa, and I went home that day and watched the original 3 on VHS because I loved it so much.
I've never seen the original 3 on VHS. I really want to.
It was interesting.
Because I don't like the
remaster.
CGI.
McClunky.
Oh, God. Legitimately don't like it.
And then they had to add Greedo's little laser bolt.
Yeah, just leave it alone.
No. Han shot first. Everybody knows. It's fine. Everybody's all mad because Han's a cold-blooded killer. Well, yeah, back then he had to be. He was living on Tatooine. Come on.
I didn't start watching Star Wars until after Episode 2 came out.
That sucks.
I got in a car accident. And my buddy's like, have you seen Star Wars? And I was like, no. And he was like, be right back. And he ran away, ran back, and threw all the DVDs at me because I was laid up from a car accident.
Yeah.
So I had no choice, basically. He's like, and he just watched me as I watched Star Wars. Like, you're freaking weird, man.
Episode 2 is my least favorite, hands down. It's the worst.
Really, I don't like the first one.
I don't like the first one at all, but I like the introduction of Anakin. I like Darth Maul a lot more than Count Dooku.
Really, really cool.
So, the fact that Count Dooku is the bad guy in Episode 2 is just like, no, thank you. Darth Maul's better, and I wish that they didn't kill him right away, and he could have been like the main Sith apprentice in Episode 1 and 2. That would have been better.
He was the main bad guy the whole time?
Yeah.
That would have been cool. To watch him and grown-up Anakin fight each other?
That would have been awesome.
That would have been awesome. I'm going to step back on your question to the games again.
Oh, yeah.
Because I didn't go much into them. So Tekken was my first game. That's the first game that sucked my whole life away. If it's the first game, if there was a platinum trophy, I would have had it. Like, I legit 100% of the game.
I played Street Fighter way more than Tekken.
I could never get into Street Fighter. I don't know why. They're the same thing. I really don't know why I couldn't do it.
I had hormones and Chun-Li was hot, so...
This is Asuka Kazama. She is Chun-Li, basically.
Yeah. They're all copies of each other in one way or another.
So yeah, that was PlayStation 1, it's Tekken 3. And then Tekken 5 came out for the PlayStation 2, so I got a PlayStation 2 for that. And it just sucked my soul away, Tekken 5. And after that one, when I was playing that, God of War 1 came out. And then I went, ooh, this is my jam right here.
I haven't played any of the God of War.
They're a particular audience.
Yeah. Oh, I want to play them bad.
It's totally a hack and slash game.
I don't want to play the original because it was just like, let's go murder everything and have a bunch of sex.
Sex side quest things, put in prom. Those were weird. I didn't care for those. But if you were to play any of them before you played the newest one, I'd play a 3. Because the story at the end of 3 ties into the story of 4. So.
I'm just going to play 4.
And you don't need to play anything. They made it specifically like that. So if you were...
I just want to hear Kratos say boy 1,000
boy
times. That's my goal.
It's a lot of fun. I love that game a lot. And then, God of War 2 came out. PS2. God of War 3 came out on the PS3, and that's why I bought my PS3. Was for God of War 3.
Fucking nerd.
Yeah, for real. And then I played between 2 and 3. I played Gears of War. Not God of War 2. Gears of War was fun.
Yeah, it was okay.
It's like
I played it a little bit.
It's the only Xbox game I actually played the story to.
Yeah.
Of all, it was in my Xbox.
Yeah, it was. I played it a few times. I never really super got into it. I'm really picky about my games. That's why I haven't played any of the other ones, because if I'm going to spend money on something, I need to know that I'm going to dedicate a lot of time to it. So that's why I'm just like, well, I know Destiny keeps me entertained, so I'll just stick to that. Got to break that habit.
Yeah. It's all good, though. I played the same game for like 2 years, Tekken 5.
Yeah.
Legit was the only game I played.
I mean, yeah.
So I feel you. My friends were like, did you play it? And I'm like, Tekken 5? Huh? I played
Tekken. Other games?
That's what? And then my buddy had, the same guy that made me watch Star Wars, he had 2 PCs, and he let me borrow one of his PCs, and I played Diablo. And I played, there's like a strategy game where there's like aliens versus people. It was really dumb, but I played it. And those are the only PC games I ever played. Oh, Fable. I played Fable on Xbox.
Yeah.
Who had that? I don't remember. And then God of War 4 and Spider-Man were announced. I got PS4. And that's as far as I've gone. Because it's not the future yet.
Yeah, I bought a PS4 just for Destiny.
I feel it. I bought it.
I mean, I played... A lot of the people I played Destiny with, like, went to Fortnite.
I played Fortnite for a little while.
I dabbled in it. I'll still play every once in a while. My fiance's little brother loves Fortnite. And
that was a blast.
I play with him sometimes.
We did that.
But mostly it's still just Destiny. I gotta break my habits, no matter how hard it may be. It's like quitting smoking.
No, not even
it's like you crave it.
I quit smoking. I quit drinking caffeine for a while. Not very long.
I'm not gonna do that.
I didn't do it for very long. I've never quit playing video games, but I feel, because caffeine was harder than cigarettes, I feel like games would be the hardest thing to stop doing.
100%.
Because I legit play every single day.
I know. I'm usually there.
Every day. I just love it. What are your top 5 favorite games?
Like of all time?
Of all time.
Destiny, obviously. I'm just going to lump 1 and 2 together. That's been my main thing. I love the lore of it so much. I've been playing it so long, and I never find myself getting bored. Even vanilla Destiny 2 was absolute garbage, and I still found ways to entertain myself. I can fuck around and have a good time doing about anything.
I made a YouTube video of throwing snowballs at people.
I watched
That's
it.
all I did.
It's pretty funny.
So I feel it's legit a game where there's nothing not to do ever.
Yeah.
There's so much
There's always something to do. Even like, if I'm just like having a bad day at work and I just want to fuck around, I'll just hop in some strikes. I've played them a million times, and I'll just kind of just go through them, just kind of fuck around, shoot stuff, and just have a good time.
My bad day game is Metal Gear Solid 5. Because you can just go, I'm going to go to this town and kill everybody until I feel better. And it usually works.
You might have a problem.
Video games don't cause violence. Die, everybody!
Oh, I'm not getting into that debate.
It's back for some reason.
Yeah.
Since we don't want to get back in.
Fortnite is so big, and parents are okay, Karen. Battlefield 3 has got to be there because it's the game that got me into gaming like heavily again. Zelda, the original Legend of Zelda, I played a lot when I was a kid, and I started playing video games. And then when I started playing on the Nintendo 64, I started playing the Ocarina of Time, and that game was a blast. I played that for hours at a time until I got to the mission where you have to like ride a horse, like race some chick, and I was young and stupid and could not ever figure out how to get past it. So I've still never beaten it, but I've spent a lot of time riding horses. And then Street Fighter, for sure. Not just because I had a crush on Chun-Li when I had hormones, but I actually had a lot of fun playing it. It was Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, kind of probably tied between the two. And then Diablo was the first PC game I played also. And then a buddy of mine got me Diablo 3 for the Xbox. He's like, I'm never going to stop playing Destiny. He's like, if I pay for it, will you play it? I'm like, all right, yeah. So we played a little bit of Diablo 3. That was actually a lot of fun. And that game has been heavily criticized, and I had a really good time. So
I had
so much.
Diablo 2 is what I played on PC, and then I got Diablo 3 for my PlayStation 2, I think. And I love that game. Yeah. It's so much fun.
I just like how the dark feel.
Darker Decay. I like all those guys. They're great.
I like the darker feel of games. I don't like games like,
for sure.
I don't know. It's
Spyro the Dragon
or whatever, but Spyro was fun though. Come on.
I like Spyro.
I want to play the remastered one.
I'm gonna steal it. You take my motherboard.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take your PlayStation home and just play it forever because it's hella fun. So yeah, I'd say Zelda, Diablo, Destiny, Street Fighter, Battlefield 3. Fuck all the other ones. Some of the older ones are okay. Battlefield 4 sucked. Battlefield Hardline was pointless. It was cops and robbers. And Battlefield 1 was pretty good, but I was already into Destiny at that point, and I couldn't pull myself away from it, so it is what it is. But yeah, those would be my 5.
don't think I've ever played Battlefield games. Any of them? Not even one of them. Is that Xbox exclusive or something?
I think so. Maybe.
Not really into first-person shooters that much. That's probably why. You know what I do like is how Zelda. He's got that little green costume.
Yeah.
And a shield and sword.
His name's not Zelda. We're gonna do this again.
I'm never not gonna say that joke. So my top 5 games is God of War, the whole series all lumped together as one thing, because I bought consoles for them. So makes a little bit of sense for me.
Been there.
The Metal Gear Solid franchise as a whole.
Snake's really cool.
Snake's, yeah, he's cool. He's super cool. Just the aspect of, like, especially for Phantom Pain, being stealthy is the goal. Like, if you kill people, your minion people start to disrespect you, which is pretty interesting.
That's cool.
Which is bad for when I have a bad day at work.
That's fine.
They'll be like,
who needs to be respected?
They'll be like, can you believe you killed all those people? They'll say that. I'm like, sorry. My boss is being mean. And then Horizon Zero Dawn. That was a gem that got past everybody, or me anyway. Me and a bunch of my other friends. Someone was like, I was on sale, I think, on PlayStation Store or something.
Yeah.
And I bought it and played it, and I was so immersed in the story. And the main character, slight spoilers. Main character who's a clone, the cloner. The first one.
Oh, is that why everyone in the village hates her?
Yeah.
All I know about that game is the video you posted.
Everyone hates her because she came
everybody
from
hates her.
the god that they all worship. It makes no sense. But the person she was like cloned from here, where we live at, is from here.
That's awesome.
It's really, really, really cool. And the storyline is so good. It just blows my mind that a game slipped past that was so good. Plus, she's not overly sexualized, which is really cool.
Yeah.
She's not just boobs and ass and just running around jiggling.
Most women in video games.
Laura Croft.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of the main reasons I like that game. And then Tekken, just because it sucked my whole life away for a few years. And I love that game. They suck now. They're pretty bad now.
There's just fighting games now.
I got 7.
Cool.
Because Tekken 5, every single character had like a cutscene ending if you beat the story or whatever.
Yeah.
Tekken 7, which was for the PS4, just came out like last year or whatever it was. That one, only 3 of the characters have endings. I think like the main family or whatever, and it's stupid.
That's dumb.
I just don't like it.
I want to play Mortal Kombat 11.
It's really good. I have it.
Yeah. Every game that I
try.
So I have Destiny.
What?
And some free shit for my kids, like Trove and Roblox. I don't fucking know. I play Destiny.
Well, I hurt my knee. You know this, but these people don't. When I hurt my knee, I hurt my knee in the summertime, and I was laid up, couldn't really walk. So I got online on the store, and I was like, what can I buy? And I got Mortal Kombat 11, and I was like, ooh, this is a lot of fun. And I was like, I'm gonna platinum this, and I'm like 93% away or to it.
Yeah.
So Mortal Kombat's one of my faves of all time. And then probably not in my top 5 though.
It's one of my favorites, but it's not my favorites.
It's if I could make a top 20.
We don't have time for that.
No way. And then Witcher 3 is definitely up there. It's probably my number 2 favorite game. It's just, the story is so good, and it's not one of those ones where all the side quests are all the same all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, do this, and you're like, oh, this is different, and you learn, the tutorials are involved in it and stuff. It's pretty great. So Witcher 3 for sure.
So you're probably digging the TV show.
I love the TV show. It's great because it's like the origin story, because I've only played Witcher 3, because the other ones weren't available for PlayStation.
Yeah.
So it's like, the show's like the origin story of the game, of all the characters and stuff. It's really awesome. That's pretty cool. And it's not, like, they don't really deter from the actual stories.
Yeah, that's the one thing I hate about most TV shows.
So yeah, they're based on something.
They're based on games.
Yeah.
They're never anything like the game.
Tekken, have you seen the Tekken movie?
Nope.
It's horrible.
I'm
It's so bad.
I didn't even know there was one.
I found it in the bin at Walmart. It was $1, $5
movies
in
or
there.
whatever. Yeah, that's a good sign to tell you it's probably not that great.
It's so bad.
You still find some gems in there every found a.
That's where I got the Lord of the Rings thing I was talking about.
I got Babylon AD. Have you seen that?
I've never seen that.
It's with Vin Diesel, like set way in the future. Fucking awesome.
Does he ever play other than a race car driver? Not in the future.
Yeah.
Like Groot? No, it's kind of in the future. Sort of space.
He played the pacifier.
I forgot about that movie.
That's not in the future.
Is he a babysitter, right?
Yeah, something like that. I don't remember much of the plot of that, but it's fine.
Well, yeah, those are my top 5 games. What are your top 5 favorite characters of things? Not just games.
Everything?
Everything.
You're an asshole. My favorite character of anything, any movie, game, whatever. I mean, there is no movie for it yet, but it's Darth Revan. He's the best Star Wars character, and I need him in a movie so badly. He's hands down my favorite Star Wars character, period. Chewie's my favorite character in the movies.
2 lightsabers?
Yeah. He wears the mask of a Mandalorian.
Oh, that's cool. I know.
Yeah, he
Sith,
was like the main guy in
Jedi or something?
Knights of the Old Republic. He had an apprentice that when he went to the dark side, he brought his apprentice with him, and then his apprentice Malik is the main bad guy.
I've heard of Malik.
Yeah, he's the main bad guy in Knights of the Old Republic video game.
Mm.
Yeah, it's really good. He's also like the only person ever to go from Jedi to Sith and then back to Jedi.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's fucking awesome, and his story is really good, and I really want to see him in a movie super bad. Yeah, no, my favorite Marvel character is the Punisher. The first Marvel movie that I watched was the Thomas Jane Punisher.
Not the Dolph Lundgren one.
No, hard pass.
Really bad.
Yeah, it was a really good movie. It was super emotional. It was awesome. So that's what got me into the Punisher a lot. The Netflix series was really cool.
Yeah.
Punisher 2, Warzone was. I mean, it was a good movie. It was comic book accurate, but it was not.
What the problem with that movie was?
The acting.
The
plot.
The main problem.
Directing, all of it.
Well, the director.
It's not a good movie. I said it was. I lied. It's not a good movie. I hate that movie.
The director was like, I'm going to make a comic book accurate Punisher. And they're like, here's some money. And then when they did the press screening, she took like 3 or 4 pages from the Warzone book and put it on each seat. And they had to read it before they watched the movie to understand.
That makes sense.
And general population don't do that.
Yeah, clearly. No, I was really excited to watch it, but I was like, well, it's not Thomas Jane. So it's a different
Have you seen
guy.
the Dirty Laundry thing on YouTube?
No.
You should look up that. It's like a next step in his life. Thomas Jane one. As the Punisher.
That's cool.
And it's him. It's
That's
Thomas
awesome.
Jane. Like he made some fan film with somebody. It's really, really good.
That's actually really cool. I've never seen a fan film actually get like real people.
Yeah, I was surprised. It was really good.
They get real people. Fucking robots. Cade 6 is my favorite Destiny character, mostly because of Nathan Fillion. The way that he acts in that game, I don't think anybody else as a voice actor would be able to pull it off as good as he did. I mean, Nolan North did okay, because in that opening cutscene of Forsaken, that was Nolan North doing it. But
he's just a really good voice actor in general anyway. Yeah.
But he was basing everything off of what Nathan Fillion had already set.
Right.
Foundation of the character. Link, because of Zelda.
So Zelda's the dude in the green, and Link's like his friend or something?
Yep. 100%. He wears a blue tunic. I hate you.
It's my favorite joke.
And these aren't in order, by the way, because if they were in order... Well, I mean, I started with Revan, so I guess they are in kind of some sort of order. From top down. The Brothers from the Boondock Saints.
It's a good movie.
That was a great movie.
It's a very good movie. I used to want to get the tattoo of the word.
Yeah.
But nobody wanted to do the other word.
I wanted to get the... for a long time when I thought I was cool and I wanted stupid tattoos, I wanted to get a scroll on my back with the prayer.
Sure.
Yeah. And then I was like, I'm not a fucking idiot. It's a cool prayer. I haven't memorized, but I'm not gonna put it on my body like a fucking child. But yeah. Words on the hand would be sick though.
I was gonna do it because my buddy was really at the time was really into it, and we were like wearing black shirts and jeans, and like we were too far into it.
Too far.
And we were
blue
like,
jeans and trench coats.
I never had a trench coat. My mom wouldn't let me because of the Columbine thing. But legit.
Wow.
But I wanted to get that tattoo, and nobody would.
It's like, wait, you're kind of an outcast.
No.
Why do you want a trench coat?
Play your silly games.
That's fucking terrible. We're PC on this podcast.
It's very PC. Because we're using computers.
Oh.
So, my top 5 characters of all time, in no order, again, except for the first one, like you did. Spider-Man is my number 1 favorite thing that's ever been created by anything.
Hence the sweater and the hat.
This is good for audio, if you're listening. I have Spider-Man tattoos, Spider-Man custom sweaters that I made, and about 30 action figures, and every game, I've played all the games, and I have a lot of comic books of Spider-Man. Because Spider-Man basically sort of raised me. Because I also had a shitty childhood.
Peter Parker's my daddy.
Stanley, fam. No, every time I had an event happen in my life, because I didn't read Spider-Man from, like, beginning to end, because that's, like, impossible to do. Every book I ended up picking up, he was doing the same thing. So, like, if I had a really serious relationship, they broke up. I read a story where him and Mary Jane broke up. It was just, everything followed, so I clicked with him really, really hard. At a really young age, yeah. That's why I bought a PS4 for a Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
You know what pisses me off about that? By the way, I bought the PS4 like a year before Spider-Man came out. And then Black Friday, after Spider-Man came out, they had the deal with more memory for less money.
More memory and the game.
And the game and less money. I was so mad.
It's always how it works. That's why I bought my PS4 for no specific reason other than to play Destiny. And I bought it after Black Friday because I'm a genius. But yeah.
I bought it way before Black Friday.
I ended up playing Destiny 2 by myself for a long time because the people that I played with on Xbox waited for Black Friday. So it was like 2 months, I think, because it came out in September. So yeah, it was about 2 months till I actually had my old like clan members to play with and stuff. But.
So the rest of my top 5 aren't in any order. We're gonna go Snake from Metal Gear Solid.
Just killing everyone.
Killing everyone, being sneaky.
No big deal.
It's one of those games again where I played it and I'm like, wow, how have I never played this game?
Yeah, like I played a little bit of Metal Gear Solid.
Like 2 and 3. I've played 2 and 3 so much that in my brain headcanon, it's one game.
Yeah.
And someone just told me recently that, no, that's 2 games, pal. I was like, what are you talking about? I didn't know that. And then we're going to go Kratos from the God of War series, because I just like Kratos a lot. And then we're going to have Wolverine. He's in there. When I was a kid, even though I like Spider-Man so much, I always pretended I was Wolverine. Because you could just have sticks in your hand. Be like, I'm Wolverine. You could climb up a wall. Right?
I always pretend to be Gambit.
I liked Gambit so much when I was a kid, I learned how to throw cards.
That's awesome.
I could throw a card across this room right now.
I can't do that.
I learned on purpose to do it.
I'd
be like, mon ami, and I would throw it.
I'd grab sticks in my backyard and swing it around like I was cool.
The bow staff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gambit's
really, really cool.
He's my second favorite X-Men.
They'll never, ever make a movie. They try and they keep trying. It just fails.
Well, I mean, Disney might now.
They might. It'd be cool.
It'd be awesome.
They should just start over.
It's just the thing that makes me so frustrated is I talk to people about the X-Men movies and stuff, and I bring up Gambit, and a lot of people don't even remember him from Origins, Wolverine Origins. He's in it. Kind of.
But he's in it, and he throws cards at people, and he blows that alley up with a stick. It's a bad movie, but Gambit's good in it.
Gambit needs a movie. Or at least needs to be involved.
With nothing to do with the X-Men.
Just Gambit?
Just Gambit being a thief.
That'd be cool. I'd be down.
Because that's what he does.
But I also kind of want him in an X-Men movie.
That too. That's what they can introduce him that way. That'd be great.
It's
the only guy I want an origin story for is Gambit.
I want an origin story for a lot. Nightcrawler's my favorite.
Nightcrawler he's my jam.
I love Nightcrawler. He's awesome.
BAMF. When I first heard BAMF, the acronym, I thought everyone was talking about Nightcrawler. I was like, nobody likes comic books. What's going on here? It was the craziest thing.
No.
So lastly on my top 5 list is Geralt of Rivia from The Witcher, because he's really cool, and he's like this powerful monster hunter guy who doesn't really give a shit about anybody.
Yeah.
Like they're like, you got a destiny. He's like, I don't care. And he's just super cool.
I just want to kill monsters.
And the game's such a good storyline that like you have to get involved with the character. That's why I like Horizon Zero Dawn so much. Because it's a long game. It's like a 200-hour game. So you have. It's really good.
I gotta start watching that series on Netflix. Really bad.
It's really good.
Because I honestly don't see myself playing the game. I'd like to. Probably. I don't know. But I just...
For a guy who plays Destiny most of the time, it would take you 4 years to play The Witcher.
Yeah.
Because it's legit a 200-hour game. Minimum.
I'll watch the show. I'll get the gist. I'll have Henry Cavill play a character I care about.
Cable from the X-Men?
So if you had to pick, would you go with Marvel or DC?
It's a tricky question. So Marvel, of course, because Spider-Man lives there. And bucket list? Totally. As soon as we got on topic, I'm going off topic. Bucket list things? There's 3. I need to go to New York City, because Spider-Man lives there. Yeah. I need to go... there's 4. I need to eat a piece of pizza in New York City. I need to go to Queens. I need to go to Queens. Yeah. Because there's a house that has his address from the comic books, and just be like, smiley face in front of the house, and I need to stand on top of something dressed up as Spider-Man. Bucket list.
My bucket list is basically just build a lightsaber in Disneyland.
We're gonna do that probably together.
And a freaking an R2 unit.
I've always wanted to make one, a little one, but I wanted to make it.
No, I want to do it there.
You can make them there.
Yeah, they have. You pick out what type you want, right? So they have a conveyor belt that comes along, and you grab the core, and then you have to grab the shell pieces and all this other stuff and put it together, and then they activate it. And it's electronic, yeah. They have like 100 different personality chips, so they all can talk differently. And
I get a snarky one.
It's so cool.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. They have all this shit at Galaxy's Edge, and I watched the video earlier today actually for the process of building the lightsaber.
I've seen the video.
And, like, you're standing there and the dude's like talking.
Lightsabers are important to the Jedi or whatever. Cool. Yeah, I want to do it so bad.
I was like, I want to be a Jedi in real life, like right now. Let's go.
It'd be great. It'd be really great.
Yeah. The whole premise of a lightsaber in real life can really be possible, but it's okay.
When I was in middle school, or when I was early in high school, I was a really big science nerd, and I was trying to figure out how to make a lightsaber.
Lasers never stop.
You could use mirrors, and then have it like charge the edges of blades, so it wouldn't really be lightsaber, but there'd be light, and then you could cut. And if it was smoky in the room, it would look like
that'd be cool.
But it would have sharp pieces of metal around it.
That's not a lightsaber. That's a sword.
It's a light sword.
That's a flashy sword.
It's a blinky. It's a strobe sword. Strord.
You can make it like the dark saber, the black one. It actually looks like
a sword. Like, yeah.
That'd be cool. I'd be down.
I tried in high school.
I'm not a science nerd.
I'm a very big science nerd.
I'm a very big comic book, Star Wars video game nerd, not science.
Science and math was my school nerdness.
So you're a geeky nerd.
Yeah, I was a geeky nerd. I was Spider-Man. I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how it was.
I'm good at math. I hate it. I'm good at it.
Yeah. I don't like doing it either anymore. I like playing video games.
Back on topic.
So Marvel. Mostly Marvel, because DC, I like some DC stuff. Like I like The Flash. Green Lantern Corps is my favorite thing in DC. When I was a kid, I wanted to trade the Hulk for Green Lantern. I wanted to trade him because I didn't like the Hulk. And I figured it's green. They'll be fine. Green Lantern's cool. That's what got me into space comics. I used to hate space comics when I was a kid. That's why I never read Guardians or anything like that. But the Marvel people, they're more relatable. Like they're more. All the DC people are so overpowered.
They really are.
That it's like a lot of people are like, "Whoa, Hulk could be the real." If you look at it, the DC guys would kill all the Marvel guys. 4 of them.
Yeah, and if like
because they're so stupidly godlike strong.
If if you think about like Superman's one of their most iconic characters.
And everyone's like, I just made up this new character. He's this strong. Like, how could he beat Superman?
He's just fucking boring.
He's super boring.
He's so boring.
He's allergic to a rock, and he's boring, and I don't like him.
I hate Superman. Yeah, for me, it's definitely Marvel 2.
Marvel 2?
Yeah, it's a thing. Google it. It's
Spodermane?
Marvel also, smartass. Because I haven't really gotten into the comics a lot. So most of my comic book type knowledge is based off of the movies and other podcasts that I listen to.
Sure.
Which there's a couple that I listen to that talk about the comics before a movie comes out or after a movie comes out about those characters.
I tried that on my YouTube channel. It failed miserably.
Yeah. Well, I like doing that because I like to know the actual canon story of the characters. Mm-hmm. Because the MCU changes a lot, which a lot they have to because they didn't have rights before for a lot of the characters that are involved in stuff. Like, could you imagine Age of Ultron? Comic book accurate with the X-Men in there too?
Or even just doing anything else?
Yeah.
Ultron was pretty bad.
But after that movie came out, I watched the whole YouTube video about the whole story. And it's so fucking cool.
The Age of Ultron movie did two things for me. It was the most disappointed I've ever been leaving a movie theater. Because I was so hyped for it.
So bad.
Looking back, I like that one actually more than the first one. Because the first one's just like, here's
an introduction thing.
Which is fine.
That's what this podcast is.
It is, yeah.
This is going to be everyone's least favorite episode.
Which is fine.
Which is fine.
But no, I used to read a story of like, so Thor comes out, I would read a Thor comic. Yeah. And before Iron Man, I would read an Iron Man, like Iron Man 2. Or Hulk, I would read a Hulk comic. So before Age of Ultron, I had it. So I read it. And then I went and saw it.
Bad move.
It was like a drunk person who had heard someone telling someone else about Age of Ultron was telling you about Age of Ultron. Yeah. That's how bad. Yeah.
That's nothing.
So I don't do that anymore.
And I kind of wish that would have been the introduction of Hank Pym.
That'd have been cool.
Rather than waiting until they made it.
Even if you made the AI in the past.
Yeah.
And they just had no way of using it.
Just like introduce the character and then go to Ant-Man.
Or like how they.
I mean, in reality, like, don't get me wrong, I like the Ant-Man movies. I like Paul Rudd a lot. And I like Ant-Man more than a lot of people that I've talked to about it. But it kind of just came out of nowhere.
And it was supposed to be one of the first ones.
Yeah, it's like wasn't tied to anything. And if they were to use Age of Ultron to introduce Hank Pym, there would have been more. It would have been more successful because people would have been expecting it at that point. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know.
They could have used Hank Pym and Stark's dad because they're trying to shut him down a third of the time. Yeah. So they could have had them two working on it. Yeah. So, yeah.
That would have been way better.
Would have been way better.
But yeah, so that's why I go with Marvel over DC though, because if I'm just basing it off of my movie knowledge.
I would totally agree with that. That's pretty bad.
The only DC character I care about really is Batman, because the Dark Knight trilogy was amazing. Mm-hmm. Some of the originals were fun, but...
What originals?
The old Batman movies.
I like the Joel Schumacher. Yeah. Those are unwatchable now. Don't try. Go ahead and try. I got about 10 minutes.
I like the Tim Burton one.
That one's okay, but
I like Tim Burton a lot.
The Joel Schumacher ones are unwatchable. I tried to rewatch them.
Yeah, no, I really like. Val Kilmer is probably one of my favorite Batman.
He did a good job, yeah. From memory, but when I tried to watch the one with Two-Face. Yeah. And it was like, blah, we're Batman people. I was like, oh my god, I cannot do this.
I can't do this. Yeah, I don't like Superman. I hate Justice League. I didn't watch like Man of Steel or
Man of Steel's okay.
I didn't watch Batman versus Superman before. I've watched them now. I didn't watch them before I watched Justice League.
Hold on. You watched Batman versus Superman before watching the Hulk because you've never seen it.
Yes.
It's bad though.
It's really bad. It's really, really bad. So is the Hulk.
Hulk's not that bad.
I also haven't seen Thor: The Dark World.
Well, I want to see Thor: The Dark World during the weird timeline that happens because drunk Thor goes and takes the things back.
Just see what
and
happens.
The hammer and everything. Like, I would love to watch a whole series of all that.
Thor comes out. Where's my hammer?
He's doing the thing, and
Steve took it back to the exact.
That's why, like, I want to watch it as it unfolds.
Yeah.
So then I don't have to worry about the timelines.
I want to watch Steve Rogers take the Soul Stone back to Red Skull.
Steven Rogers, you son of a bitch! How did you get here?
I just want to watch.
Oh, that'd be so great.
It does just like a short, just like a cutscene.
Or just them two talking for 10 minutes.
Like, yeah, that's all I want. I don't know. That'd be so fucking cool.
Oh, and he would lock him back there for eternity. Again. Oh, he'd be all pissed off at him again. Oh, that'd be great.
It'd be so fun.
There's one of those.
Just like a comedic cutscene, just of them talking.
There's one of those like College Humor or like How It Should Have Ended YouTube channels that did him putting it back through time. And there's one where it's him and Peggy. It's like living life throughout the timelines. So like when they go to shoot JFK, he's like eating food just because he doesn't want to break the timeline. That's great.
That's fucking awesome.
I would love to see that movie though. Just a Captain America putting the stones back in the movie.
That'd be sick.
You'd have to put that goo back into Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
So what do you do?
Trying to like just okay, that's what I gotta do. It'd be so great.
Oh god. Yeah. So Marvel over DC.
I'd say the same.
For sure. It's just I haven't had anything to get me into DC. Superman is one of their most iconic characters and he's fucking lame. And Batman's really, really, really cool, but I'm kind of tired of his story about, I'm sad because my parents died. Like,
I've only legit read one Batman story.
I've never read any DC comics, period.
Like,
I've read a couple Marvel. I have Watchmen to read. So what now would you say would be your current main game, comic book, and movie?
So game is easy. I play Destiny with you a lot. I've been playing the Jedi game a lot.
I can't wait to get that game.
Because it's so much fun and it's hard. It's harder than you'd think it'd be.
I don't care.
And, no, that's what I was.
To be.
I was just expecting like a fun slash things with your lightsaber.
Yeah, that's what
and there's like it's like to me it's like God of War. OG God of War, not the slashy hack 'em up part, but like the puzzles.
Yeah.
Meets Horizon Zero Dawn because he runs weird like her.
With a lightsaber.
With a lightsaber instead of a bow stick thing. She has a stick. And they like run all like there's like a center point where the character can move on, and it like teeters on. It reminds me exactly how she ran in that game. Maybe the same makers. I have no idea. And then comic books. I haven't read a comic books in a long time. I'm really waiting for that Darth Vader one that Marvel's been doing to end, so I can get the.
That's my answer for comics.
Because they have
a couple.
When I was a kid, I liked going to the comic book store and trying to collect issue 1 and then reading it, and then a month later. But they don't do comics like the weird stories like this. They don't do them month to month. There's a new Watchmen series that's 12 issues. It took 3 years for them to write.
Holy shit!
So I'm sick of trying to wait to get it, and the comics aren't that popular anymore.
Yeah, I'm not gonna wait. I'm gonna read it now.
So a lot of the comic books here in our town, they'll order like 40 of a run, and then when it's gone, it's gone. Sorry, I'm not ordering more.
Yeah, I want to do Marvel Unlimited, the app.
It's not a bad idea. Comixology would be cool. I'd like to get on the Comixology.
Yeah, because Marvel owns Star Wars, right? So they have a lot of Star Wars comics around there too.
They probably have all the
if they have the Darth Vader
IDW and stuff.
I have a Darth Vader comic because I have like my nerd wall that it's just hanging up, but it's like issue 14. That I don't have the rest of them.
I guess it goes into him getting like his lightsaber and all that shit, which is super exciting for me.
Yeah, I don't think like that's a big issue I've always had with Star Wars. Is everybody talked about Darth Vader being so strong and powerful and scary?
When he's like, here's my...
It's like, why? Like, he didn't really do a lot.
Kill all those kids at one time.
Yeah. I mean...
Which is probably really easy to do in it, like, as a Jedi, yeah.
That's my favorite meme ever. It's like, PG-13 movie allows one fuck. Where would you put
it? The kid.
It's just the kid. Fuck. That's the funniest thing. It's kind of sad that that's so funny. We like dark humor. It's fine.
But yeah, as an adult, I don't like getting singles anymore. I try to get the thicker graphic novels in quotes.
Yeah.
Movies are hard for me. I have to really be in the mood nowadays to watch movies because I'm more into games than I have been in a long time lately. Like last year or so.
Yeah.
So every night, like I'll get off from playing. I gotta wind down. I'll watch just whatever I can find. There's certain movies I rewatch a lot, like Lord of the Rings, like I said earlier. If I'm sick, there's certain movies I go to.
Yeah.
And I can't even think of anything close upcoming I want to go out and see.
Black Widow.
Black Widow's in May.
That's not that far.
It's gonna be May. But no, it's just movies. I don't stay hyped for movies anymore. I try not to do that.
I need to not because of what happened last week.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
You guys will find out next week.
Yeah. It's my current main game would definitely be Destiny. I play Fortnite every now and again. I want to get Fallen Order, but I just play Destiny all the time, so that's an easy answer. As far as comics go, I want to read them all. Darth Vader is the one that I'm most interested in starting immediately. For movies, recently would be all the Marvel movies, but Endgame for sure. I love everything about that. There's literally nothing in that movie that disappointed me at all. I loved every minute of that movie. I loved the way that they did it. I loved the way that they explained the time travel. There was a couple comedic moments that I felt were kind of unnecessary, but they were still, it didn't upset me at all.
That's Iron Man 1.
I was going to say Rise of Skywalker if we recorded this before I saw it. It's a really good movie. So I did enjoy it a lot.
I liked it a lot.
It's a really good Star Wars movie.
But being the nerds we are, it's like, wait, what? Hold on.
It's not a good ending to the saga, and it was done lazily.
Yes.
And we will talk about that next week, because if I keep talking, I'm not going to stop. So yeah, Marvel movies, Star Wars movies are always my go-to. If I'm I just started rewatching Star Wars. I'm up to episode 5 now.
I rewatched them before the new one came out.
Yeah, so
I guess I've been watching The Witcher a lot. Every night I watch an episode.
The Mandalorian.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's good.
Yeah, it's really good. I have not watched the last episode yet because I'm a failure at nerd life.
It's good.
Yeah,
it's good. I like that show so much.
Yeah, it's really good.
I think that might be part of everyone's problem with the Rise of Skywalker too.
Because the Mandalorian was
so good.
Skywalker's so not.
Yeah. Because I had that problem.
Okay, I can't say that. It's a good movie. It is a good. I enjoyed it a lot. I've seen it twice. I've seen it twice already.
I even went, what?
I liked it
out
more.
Loud in the theater because it was so entertaining to watch.
I liked it more the second time than I did the first time, which was hard to do because I really enjoyed it the first night.
That tends to happen to me.
But I just there's so many things, so many issues, and that will be a good segue to next week's episode because it's going to be all about the review of the Rise of Skywalker, with some talk about Mandalorian and what we want to see in the future.
So subscribe, please.
So like and subscribe.
Smash that bell. That smash button.
Like that smash button.
Ding-a-ling, the ding-donger.
So make sure you hit the bell so you get the notification when that comes up. Because like I said before, this episode is mostly just getting to know us a little bit, kind of working out the kinks of how we want things to go. And moving forward, we'll have a Sunday upload every week. And Star Wars is going to be the first one because I have too many thoughts on that movie that I need to get out of my system.
And that is the end of our first intro podcast ever. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast because it was a lot of fun to make.
I'm really
especially because we both have wanted to do this for so long.
Yeah, this is really fun.
This is legit just how we talk to each other, so it's a lot of fun to do this.
It feels like we're having a conversation at work right now.
Exactly, so it's pretty great. If you guys want to follow us on all of our socials, everything's Codename Nerd Pod on Instagram, Facebook, all of them. Just search for that and you'll find us. I just want to thank everyone for listening. If you're listening, thank everyone for watching. If you watch this on YouTube,
we are going to be streaming through Twitch.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I don't know when that's going to start exactly, but it is coming in the future for sure. If you want to follow my socials, I'm Apollo Gaming. It's Apollo Gaming on most of everything. It's going to be linked below because some of them have weird spelling, so I'm not going to list them all. But I'll be starting Twitch and YouTube here pretty soon. So if you want to follow me on there, Instagram, Twitter, it'll all be in the description.
Speaking of YouTube, I'm on YouTube, Nerd Harmony. Just search for it, you'll find me. Or you can click links below. All the socials are also Nerd Harmony. Some of them have underscores in the middle, some of them don't. Just look for my logo, which is here, if you're watching. And yeah, that's about it. That's all we got. Thanks for listening.